for us to take our families to the movies. So I said, let's build movie theaters. So I went to seek a partner. I'm gonna say that one more time. I went to seek a partner that had the expertise in movie theaters, because I knew what minorities wanted, but I didn't know how to build theaters. So I went to Sony and said, look, we can have a profitable business. Let's partner. I put up half the money, you put up half the money, you bring the expertise in terms of running a movie theater. I know what minorities want. So that's how Majic Johnson Theaters came about. And it was a unique situation because of the fact that I told them we would be one of the highest grossing theaters in the nation. So long story short, we get ready to open on that Friday. On that Wednesday, I asked the food buyer from Sony, how many hot dogs do we have for the opening? The same amount that they have in suburban America, that's what you're going to get. Okay. So we opened on Friday. I sold out all the hot dogs that normally take a month to sell out in suburban America. I sold them out in one night. Why? Because what he didn't understand about us, we're not going to go to dinner and a movie. Where are we going to have dinner? At the movies. So that's what he didn't understand. See, I knew that, but he didn't know it. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I know my customer. So when you start a business, you have to know your customer and what they want. Now, I knew there was going to be a successful business with the movie theaters because there was none in our community. So that meant no competition. Let me tell you about our spending power. African Americans have $1 trillion spending power. Latinos have another $1 trillion spending power. So that's a lot of disposable income. And I knew I was going to get my share of that if I brought the right products and services to our community. And that's why the theaters took off. I was in the top 10 in the nation, highest grossing theaters in the nation. So that helped me get my business track record start of success. What do I want my business to stand for? Best in class and excellence. Customer service got to be great. Because one thing about us as people, we're the most loyal people in the world as long as you deliver to us. And sure enough, that's what I tried to do. So then I got bold because I'm a man who thinks outside the box. And I was driving by this coffee place and I saw a line of people every day. And it's called Starbucks. And I was like, man, they got all people standing in line trying to get in this place to get a cup of coffee. I said, man, we don't have no coffee places in our community. That would go good in urban America. I looked it up, they don't do franchisees. I said, okay, that's okay. I'm gonna go take a meeting with this man because I'm trying to bring Starbucks to urban America. And sure enough, went up to Seattle, met with the chairman and CEO, Howard Schultz, and said, look, the growth of your business will have to be through urban America. You have one on every corner of suburban America. Let's build Starbucks in urban America because black folks, we like coffee too. So sure enough, he said, let's talk about it. And we did, we talked about it. The key for me was this. He came down to see how I managed my theaters, to see if the customer service was the best. Was the theater clean? Was the people really coming in my theater and supporting it? So he came down on a Friday night, and thank God Whitney Houston's first movie was coming out, Waiting to Exhale. So I had about 5,000 black women wrapped around the corner to see this movie. And Howard was blown away. He was blown away. He said, wow. He got inside the concession stand. We were doing a lot of business. Unbelievable. So then we decided to go in to see the movie in my biggest house. about 500 seats. And I tried to tell them that we go to the movies a little different than everybody, but I couldn't catch it. Sure enough, we get inside, about 20 minutes into the movie, every woman in there thought they knew Whitney Houston personally, so they start talking to the screen. Girl, why you still with him? I would dump him if I was you. You know, and so Howard pulled me out and said, Magic, I never had a movie-going experience quite like this. But everything that you told me, I got to see for myself. See, sometimes you gotta take a person who's maybe never been to urban America to the deal. Let them see for themselves how we support our businesses. And that night, that day, won me the Starbucks deal. Now here I am, a kid from the ghetto, from urban America. Grew up poor. Father worked 2 jobs his whole life, General Motors. And how can I be the only one ever outside of Starbucks to own Starbucks? Now, if I can do that, imagine what all these young people here can do. No different from you. I grew up the same way. Shoot, we had the peanut butter, a lot of time we had the jelly. Shoot, syrup sandwiches all day long, right? Shoot, sometimes had the cereal didn't have the milk. When you come from 6 sisters and 3 brothers, I got to the dinner table late because I was an athlete. What you think was left? A piece of cornbread. But see, I grew up like that, but I didn't have poor dreams. And that's the key. So while you're sitting here at this wonderful college, getting your education, you gotta dream past here and past where you grew up. And then you gotta put a game plan in place and a strategy in place to help you make your dreams come to fruition and to reality. That's what it's all about, and that's what I did. And so the headlines in the paper was, no way minorities are paid $3 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Yeah, we're paid $3 for a cup of coffee. We quite didn't know what scones are in them Starbucks. So I took out the scones in my Starbucks, and I put in what resonate with the urban consumer. Sweet potato pie, pound cake, Sakatumi cake, peach cobbler. So when you went in my Starbucks, you saw a different dessert menu than you would at a regular Starbucks. And check this out, my per caps were higher than his per caps. My goodness. Oh, I thought it couldn't work. You have to over-deliver to your customer. That's the word I want all the young people to write down right now. Over-deliver. It's not enough in a marketplace just to deliver anymore. You have to over-deliver. And if you over-deliver, you will get the retention that you're looking for. See, every business I'm in, I'm all about over-delivering to the customer, to the community. And if I do that, then they will respond to my brand, they will become loyal to my brand, they will trust my brand, and then you have it. And that's what I'm always about, driving excellence. And it's very important. So the Starbucks was very successful. I built 125 Starbucks in over 40 cities. I had already negotiated the multiple in the beginning. So you times that 125 revenue times that multiple, oh my goodness. I wasn't doing too bad. I sold those Starbucks back to Howard, and my vision always was to play for the Lakers, but also one day become owner of the Lakers. And Dr. Buss allowed me to do that. And this is what you have to remember. Write this down. If you're going to start a business, always have an exit strategy. One of the keys to your business. Are you going to hold on to it? Or are you in it to grow it for 5 years to 10 and then sell it? Now for me, I'm in it to grow mine to 5 years, and then I'm in it to sell it. I always got an exit plan. Starbucks, we had a 10-year exit plan. We were making so much money, I exited in 7 years. And that's very important that you know what your plan is. Or you may be a long-term investor, that's okay. You may want to keep your business and pass it to your kids. That's okay too. So, Kobe was getting older. The market value of the Lakers was as high as it's going to be. And I said, man, Kobe getting older. It's time to sell. So I sold my Lakers shares and I sold Starbucks in the same year. And I'm sitting here with over $100 million in cash, didn't know what to do with it. And who would have ever thought that the Dodgers would come up for sale. And I would have an opportunity. Now this is what you get when you have a successful track record, young people. So I'm sitting here fighting for a successful track record. And I'm fighting for respect. Because a lot of times people still didn't respect me as a businessman. But I learned that I got the respect when the Dodgers came up for sale. 6 billionaires called me that didn't look like me, that wanted to partner with me to buy the Dodgers. Because they felt I was the key to winning the bid. Wait a minute, hold up. The kid from Lansing, Michigan. But see, this is what you get, young people. If you do everything right along the way, that respect comes. And sometimes when you don't see it, somebody is watching you and saying, hey, I respect that young man for what he's building. And that's when I got validated. When the Dodgers came up for sale and those 6 billionaires called me. So it was the coolest thing. What's your name, my man? Omari? It was the coolest thing, brother. Here comes 6 billionaires lined up. So I said, sit down. A brother from the hood. Okay, sir, you come on in and see me. Okay, what's your resume? A brother from the hood interviewing 6 billionaires? Oh, man. So I went through that process and I decided on a group and a young man named Mark Walters from Guggenheim, because not only could I buy the Dodgers with him, but I knew I could do 10 other deals with him. So it's very important who you partner with. Now, I'm gonna give you some advice, you young people right here and up there. Don't partner with your friend. And don't partner with your family member. More minority businesses have failed because of family members. Why? Because they're not going to take direction from you. I'm just going to be honest with you. What's your name, young lady? Stacy. So Stacy may have a sister. And here comes the sister, you're supposed to be there at 8. Oh, girl, I'll be there at 10, 11. What's the problem? See, you can't have that. And if you look up the information, more have failed because of that. Hire your family member if they have the expertise. Because we love to work with each other, but if they don't, you have to understand it's a business. And then do what I do. I pay mine to stay away. Just go ahead, you hit the shit. You don't have to come in. Love you. Oh, I'm serious. Because the one thing that cannot happen, and I hate seeing happen, is our business failed because we hired the wrong people. Or we partnered with a partner that was my girlfriend, and then, because money and friendship don't mix. It really don't. So I don't hire my friends. I hire people who have expertise, that young people who graduated from South Carolina State, going somewhere, hard workers. And then don't be caught up into you not getting a job in your major. The reason I tell you that, get in. And if you the receptionist or the mailman, be the best receptionist or mailman they've ever seen in their life. Because greatness, people can see greatness. They see hustle. They see excellence. Mike just didn't start off at Cigna being the VP. He worked his way up the ladder. A lot of these young people in here worked their way up the ladder. I did the same things. So if you're great and you believe in yourself, and I'm gonna tell you a quick story. A young lady came out of UCLA College, and I needed a receptionist. She graduated from business school at UCLA. Young sister. Another company offered her more money. But I said, look, you come with me, there's growth. I'm gonna be here for a long time. Sustainability. And you can move up in my company faster than you can in that other company. So she said she went home, prayed on it, came, started working for me. She's been with me 18 years. Receptionist, my assistant, then the vice president, then the president of the foundation. Now she's a COO, 7-figure salary, and sometimes a 7-figure bonus. But what did she do? She showed me that she was going to be the best receptionist, and she was the best receptionist I've ever had. She was the best assistant I've ever had. And she just kept growing. But she got in. See, a lot of you get caught up trying to tell my friend, oh, I'm caught up in the title or where I'm going. No, don't get caught up in that. Get in and prove yourself. If you do that, you will get promoted, because I love watching young people come into my company and do great things. I want to show you one of my students who I used to have. Chris, where are you? Chris? All right, come on up this way, man. I'm trying to shine a spotlight on you, brother. This young man, I gave a scholarship to how many years ago? 10 years ago? Wow, man, we were working together. So I gave him a scholarship. He excelled in college. And then I followed his path and his growth. And the brother was bad, so I said, come on, man, you need to work for me. He started off as a low-level employee, assistant. And now he's doing 40, 50, and $100 million contracts and for my food service company. And so this is what happens. This is what I'm trying to tell you, all you young people here. Making 6 figures, doing great things. And that's what you need to understand. You can do great things. Just get in. Don't get caught up in what title I have or what company. Get in. And then gain the experience and the knowledge. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. So, since we're on Chris and what he does, so I have a food service business called Sodexo Majic. I partner with Sodexo, one of the largest food service providers in the world. And I got a joint venture with them. And the great thing about it is, you know, we provide food for corporations, colleges like this, school systems. So we have Allstate Insurance, their headquarters in Chicago. We do John Deere in Milwaukee. We do Toyota, their headquarters in Los Angeles. And 2 or 3 of the biggest contracts. We do Jackson State. We do Florida A&M. We do some of their stuff as well. We just won Drexel University contract. But the biggest things we do is American Airlines, all their Admirals Club. Here's a brother now, young man, used to play basketball. But all the Cokes, peanuts, sandwiches, through the Admirals Club, they come from my company around the country. If you go to Delta Airline, the Sky Clubs, I do all the sodas, nuts, crackers, all that. We got United Airlines, but the biggest contract and the thing that really made me successful in this business, I won a contract for Disney, which is the hardest company in America to get a contract with, because they vet you harder than anybody. And what was unique is, I said, man, I was happy to win Disney, but Disney World is bigger than Disney. So I wanted that contract. So, young brother, I'm gonna give you some info. I got the smaller one with Disneyland, which is not small at all. So I said, man, that contract at Disney World gonna come up in 3 years. But if I over-deliver to Disneyland, that'll put me in position to win both contracts. What happened? I made sure my team over-delivered to Disneyland. That contract just came up 2 years ago. Chris was involved in the negotiations. We end up winning the Disney World contract. And so now I have both contracts. I'm very happy about that. Again, see, I'm not just throwing words at you. If you over-deliver, people see that. If you got a best-in-class company, people see that. If you're about excellence, people see that. So that's what put me in the position to now feed Mickey and Minnie food and all the 400,000 employees at Disney World. I got another 200,000 we feed at Disneyland, so it's really a special thing for me. And our company is just booming, it's growing, and so I'm proud of that. We just had a great company in the state of Florida, a Medicaid, Medicare business. And I like to take companies when they're down and distressed and then grow them. So this is a company that has 17,000 members. We took that company in 2.5 years to 200,000 members. We sold that company just recently to Anthem for almost $1 billion in 2.5 years, because we put the right people in place. Again, it's an expertise that you gotta have. So while you're here, young people, get you some mentors, because I'm successful because I had a lot of people like this over here. I saw that people who look like me are business people too. And I asked them to mentor me, because I had to, first of all, admit to myself I didn't know business. Oh, I know how to run a team. I can come down the middle. I know how to do that all day long. I do that in my sleep. But I didn't know business. So I got me some mentors to help me with my business knowledge. And then I'm a worker. See, I don't hang out. I get up. My brother laughed at me over here. My brother Larry, he works for me. I did let him in because he's a worker. And stand on up, Larry. So that's my brother. I know you guys can't see him. He got the short end of the height. And so My brother Larry, he laughed at me because they know if they don't catch me before 8:30, I'm sleeping already. Because I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. I'm in the gym by 5. I do an hour of cardio and then an hour with the weights. And what am I telling you? You got to be disciplined. You want to be a business person? You got to be disciplined. Now, you're going to have to figure out when to hang out and when not to hang out. Uh-oh. Oh, boy, they didn't want to hear that from me. See, you can still get yours on, but you got to know when to do that. Now, Chris, this is how powerful Chris is. Where you at, Chris? He figured out, he just told me recently, he said, Mr. J, they call me Mr. J at my office. He said, man, I'm tired of hanging out. I want to own property. He just bought his first apartment building, and he is so excited that now he's renting that out, and he has another income and revenue stream coming in from that. So he said, man, forget the clubs, I'm getting ready to make this money. But he had to be disciplined enough to say, hey, I'm not hanging out no more. This is what I want my life to look like. You see what I'm saying? So you got to figure out, you want the club life, which the club gonna always be there. When you leave South Carolina State and you come back, the same party gonna be going on as when you left. It's just some different people doing it, and the dance may change. Trust me when I say that. Now you gotta decide what you want. And what you want your reputation to be. See, I love my reputation, because when I walk in any boardroom, they already know here come a serious businessman. And that's what I want my reputation to be. So what do you want your reputation to be? So, start your business. First thing you got to do, what's the location? Write that down. How many people in a 3 to 5 mile radius of your business? This is very important. You got to drive around that community, count the houses and the office buildings, because you got to know that's going to be the key to your success. I got to know how many people living in a 3 to 5 mile radius of my business. Every time before I invest in a business or I put one in New York, I'm driving around Harlem. Then I'm walking around. Okay, man, let me see. All right, okay, yeah. Okay. Every time I go to